Alright guys, the two brand new units are finally here, Garam and Princess ANAAK, and in today's video, we are going to go over the brand new SSR unit, Princess ANAAK. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, I really appreciate it, and let's go ahead and hop right into the video. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look at Princess ANAAK's kit. So for her passive family, it says, the ally with the highest attack at the start of the battle becomes family. When a family member's HP is 40% or lower, they become invincible for 3 seconds, and ANAAK and the family member status effects and debuffs are all removed. In addition, ANAAK heals the family member's HP by 800% of her defense and provokes enemies within range around a family member for 3 seconds. Cooldown 15 seconds. The first time ANAAK takes fatal damage in battle, she is reminded of her family and recovers 80% of her HP, and her defense increases by 200% until the end of the battle. So for her passive, she is focusing on one unit, and that one unit is the unit with the highest attack. So if you're using a Ha Jin Sung, you're using an Evan Kel Vio, she is going to focus on those units because their attack is high. And she is pretty much going to remove debuffs, remove status effects, and she's also going to heal the family member based off of her defense. And she's also going to provoke enemies as well, which is really good. So our passive looks really nice. And then for her active skill, Not a Half Princess, ANAAK creates a barrier equal to 1200% of her defense for herself and the family member for 10 seconds. Then increases both of their attack speed by 40 and attack by 100% for 10 seconds. ANAAK and a family member recovers 60 energy every second while the barrier is active. This is insane. So she's creating a barrier equal to her based off of her defense for herself and the family member. So this doesn't apply to the whole team. This only applies to the unit with the highest attack, the unit who has the family effect. And what's insane is the fact that this unit is also receiving 100% attack and 40 attack speed, which is really nice. And their energy is being recovered by 60 every second. Your unit with the highest attack is pretty much spamming their special move, I would say every 4 or 5 seconds. It's completely insane. And then for her active skill, Jade Necklace, it says ANAAK increases the defense of family by 160% and takes 50% of damage in their place for 10 seconds. If the family member is alive after 10 seconds, ANAAK's defense increases by 100 until the end of the battle, max 3 stacks. So she is basically going to receive 100% defense max from this active skill, Jade Necklace. But what's insane is the fact that she is receiving damage from the unit, the family unit. She's basically receiving half of the damage that the unit with the highest attack is taking, which is completely insane. So her whole kit, when we look at her 2 active skills and her passive, so far these effects are only applying to herself and the family effect unit, which is the unit with the highest attack. It's not really applying to the whole team. Now when we look at her special move, this is where things start to get crazy. It says ANAAK creates a field of memories with her happiest times in the direction of a family member. The field of memories lasts for 10 seconds, increasing the physical and magic resistance of allies inside it by 50%. The family member recovers 200 energy every second while inside the field. So what's really insane about this special move is that so far her whole kit, it seems like she's only going to affect one unit. She's only going to buff one unit, which is the unit with the highest attack, and they're going to gain the family member effect. But for her special move, she's going to create a field. It's very similar to Hwarun's field. She's going to create a pathway, and wherever the family unit is, she's going to create that pathway where the family unit is. And if there are any other allies on that pathway, they're going to receive 50% physical and magic resistance. And the family member unit is going to receive 200 energy every second while they're on that path. This is broken. This is so busted, it makes absolutely no sense. 200 energy restoration every second and 50% physical and magic resistance. You can pretty much build crit damage and physical pierce on or magic pierce on most damage type units because of this special move. The 50% physical and magic resistance increase is just insane. So her whole entire kit is just mind-blowing to me, and this unit is just completely disgusting. You have attack speed increase, attack increase, you have energy restoration, you have physical magic resistance buff, defense increase. There's just so much going on. She has a barrier. It's just insane. Plus it seems like she can revive herself, because it says right here, it says the first time ANAAK takes fatal damage in battle. So if she's close to dying, she can literally revive herself and recover 80% of her HP. This unit is cracked, insanely cracked. So that is pretty much her kit. Now let's go ahead and check out her gameplay. All right, so now let's go ahead and check out her gameplay. They added an extra unit so that they can pretty much show us her family buff. So as you guys can see, she is using that link right there, and the unit is pretty much receiving 60 energy. We're gonna go ahead and use this unit's, let's use ANAAK's special. So as you guys can see, wherever the family unit is, ANAAK is going to pretty much place her pathway next to that family unit. And you guys can see that she pretty much puts a barrier on that unit, and if that unit receives fatal damage, she's going to recover their HP. Let's go ahead and activate the pathway again. So whenever the enemy is on, like whenever your allies are standing on this pathway, they're receiving physical and magic resistance increase. And the family unit, this unit right here with the link with the highest attack, they're going to receive pretty much, I forgot, but they're pretty much going to receive the buff effect from her special move. They're going to receive 200 energy per second, which is insane. So this unit is cracked. She is absolutely cracked. Really good. Going to be very beneficial for Jin Sung, Evan Kell. She's pretty much going to be beneficial for literally every single DPS unit in the game. She is just simply amazing. Now let's go ahead and take a look at her exclusive equipment. So for level 1, it says the cooldown of family decreases by an additional 5 seconds. And for level 2, the cooldown of family decreases by an additional 5 seconds. So if you activate level 1 and 2, you're going to get a 10 cooldown decrease, which is insane overall. So level 1 and 2, very good. For level 3, it says inflicts fear on an enemy that attacks family for 3 seconds, limit once. This is so good, because if you guys don't know what fear means, fear is whenever an ally or whenever a unit inflicts fear on an enemy, that enemy is just going to run away from the unit. They're going to run away and they can't do anything, similar to Karaka. So the fact that she's able to inflict fear on enemies who approach the unit with the highest attack with the family buff is really good, because it pretty much increases your family unit's survivability. Now for her level 4, it says when someone in the family dies, ANAAK deals 300% of her attack as damage near the family member and inflicts fear for 3 seconds. So she's dealing damage, and she's also inflicting another fear on the enemy for 3 seconds. This can only happen one time. So I will say, for her exclusive equipment, you definitely want to level this up, because you're decreasing the family cooldown, which is really nice, and you're also inflicting fear on enemies, which is pretty much going to increase not only your family unit's survivability, but the whole team's survivability. So her exclusive equipment is very good. Now we move on to ignition weapons. So the best ignition weapons for this unit, of course, is going to be the Zila set, because the Zila set, you want to pretty much increase her defense, and you also want to increase her physical and magic resistance, and Zila set can do that. It's going to increase her defense by 20%, and is going to increase her physical and magic resistance, and also recover her HP, which is very good. But another great set for ANAAK would be Myungo's set, and the reason why Myungo's set would be good on her is because she's able to provoke enemies. And the only way that you can activate the 4-piece set effect of Myungo is if, you know, your ally or the unit can provoke enemies. It says right here, upon a successful provocation, and ANAAK can do that. So she is pretty much going to get 40% physical and magic resistance from Myungo's set, which is very good. So 2 really good sets for her, Zila and Myungo. I recommend you guys to use Myungo on her instead, because for Myungo, the stacks don't go away. The stacks are pretty much permanent. But for Zila set, it says for every surviving enemy on your team. If we take a look at the Zila set right here, it says the wielder's physical resistance and magic resistance increased by 6% for each surviving enemy other than summoned beings. So whenever you defeat an enemy, the stacks will go down. So you definitely want to use Myogo on her because the stacks are permanent. Plus, you get more defense through Myogo, and the fact that she's able to proc provocation, she can pretty much benefit from it. So Zilla, Myogo, really good for her, but I definitely recommend you guys to go for Myogo. Now, when it comes to stats, so since she is a tank unit, you want to get magic resistance for her slot 4, and then for slot 5, you want to get physical resistance to increase her survivability. And you all, like, when we look at the rest of these stats right here, of course, getting accuracy and evasion on her is very important. Evasion is way more important because she is a tank unit, so increasing her evasion is very good. Swiftness, really nice. You don't have to worry about crit rate or crit damage. She's not a damage dealing unit, so you don't have to worry about that. Getting a lot of defense on her, really good. Getting a lot of HP is also pretty good on her. And of course, you want to get magic and physical resistance. Already discussed that. And then for physical pierce and magic pierce, don't have to worry about that. Not a DPS unit. Lifesteal, you can get that through Tri-Essence Facility. It's not bad for her. And getting some effect resistance, it's not bad as well. So those are pretty much the most important stats for this unit. You have defense, you have accuracy, you have evasion, and you pretty much have magic and physical resistance. Top stats for this unit, and of course, swiftness. Swiftness is good for everybody. Now, when we take a look at her revolution, so for her revolution tier 4, it says, while our happy home is active, the family member inside it recovers HP equal to 600% of ANAAK's defense every second. So for her tier 4, she's pretty much adding another buff effect when she places her path. So when she puts her pathway down, she's recovering 200 energy for the family unit, and she's also increasing physical and magic resistance for the whole team when they're standing on the pathway. But if you activate tier 4, she's going to add another buff effect where she's going to recover HP for the family member, which is really good. And then for her tier 5, it says, while Jade Necklace is active, the family member recovers an additional 200 energy every second for 10 seconds. So her tier 4 and 5, absolutely wonderful. Tier 4 pretty much increases the family member's survivability. And for tier 5, you're pretty much receiving 200 additional energy every second. You're pretty much getting like 400 energy every second, which is insane. The amount of energy that she's providing to your family member unit is just completely crap. So definitely want to invest in her tier 4 and 5. It is definitely worth it. So now that we went over her kit, we talked about her revolution, we pretty much talked about everything. Let's go ahead and talk about her gameplay. So I was able to test out ANAAK and a Garam as well, and I pretty much completed floor 51 using both of those units. And I will say, based off of ANAAK's performance, she is simply amazing. So as you guys can see for this team right here, literally, like I said, you can put ANAAK in any single team because she's not restricted to just one element. She can work pretty much everywhere. So the reason why I put her in this team is because she's pretty much going to buff Kaiser and give Kaiser energy. The amount of times that Kaiser is using her ultimate with ANAAK is just completely insane. So let's come over here. Let's exit down. Let's go back to floor 51. So this is a perfect example right here. Now, a really great team for ANAAK would be this team right here. So if you have a Jinsung, he works perfectly with ANAAK. I mean, she's literally perfect for every single DPS unit in the game. But Jinsung is on a whole nother level with ANAAK. Now, what's even crazier is this unit right here, Hwarun. So the fact that you have ANAAK who's pretty much increasing, physical and magic resistance. She's increasing attack speed and attack for the family unit, which is Jinsung, because he does have the highest attack. For Hwarun, what's even crazier is when Hwarun places down her pathway, she's increasing all ally swiftness by 80. And if you have a revolution tier 5, she's going to increase the attack of all allies on the path created by Guide's guidance by 100%. So you have ANAAK's pathway who's increasing the team's physical and magic resistance, and she's increasing the family unit's energy by 200. You add that with Hwaryun's pathway where she's increasing swiftness and she's increasing attack by 100% if you have her tier 5. This is insanely busted. So these two units paired together, very, very wonderful. And putting two pathways together is very nice because one of the main things about Hwarun is that since she is, you know, a melee support unit, she places her pathway towards the enemy with the weak point. Like if the enemy has the weak point mark, she's going to place her pathway towards that enemy. So sometimes your allies won't be able to stand on that pathway, especially for ranged DPS units. But since Jin Sung is a assassin unit and he's pretty much melee, he's going to stand on Hwarun's path and ANAAK's path. So these two units together are just busted, and Jia is pretty much here to heal and increase the whole team's attack. So I'm gonna go ahead and replay this for you guys. This team is just insane. Like Jin Sung, he was using his ultimate like I'll say every 3 seconds he was using his ultimate, because the amount of energy that ANAAK is able to give the family unit is just completely busted. So let's go ahead and take a look at this. As you guys can see, ANAAK is buffing Jin Sung. Jin Sung already has his ultimate right here. And then ANAAK is going to place her pathway down. There it is, the pathway. So you guys can see what I'm talking about. You have Hwarun's path, and you also have ANAAK's path. So Jin Sung is pretty much on both paths, receiving swiftness, attack increase, and energy restoration, which is just completely broken. So we pretty much defeated everybody, and all that's left is Zahard. And you also have Hwarun who's placing that barrier down for the whole team, which is really good. And Zahard is dead. So using ANAAK and Hwarun together, very, very nice, because not only is she placing down that pathway, increasing her team's swiftness, she's also increasing attack and crit because of her passive to the enemy with the weak point mark. So yeah, this unit is just wonderful. She is absolutely wonderful. And I can't believe Netmarble, like, they released a unit this busted. Like, it's just completely mind-blowing to me. I thought that she was going to be, you know, a support or mage type unit, but she is literally one of the most busted support tank units we have in the game so far. Now, I also wanted to try this team right here. So we have Green Element Team Comp, which includes Endorsi, Lero, Yiwa, and Punisherin. So the reason why I wanted to put ANAAK in his team is because, of course, she is going to buff Punisherin, increasing his attack speed, which is very good. And she's also going to increase his energy. So this team looks pretty solid, and we have Lero, who's increasing the team's overall defense if you have his revolution. If you pretty much invested in his revolution. If we come over here and look at his special, if you have his revolution tier 5 or tier 4, I think, you're going to get that 200 defense increase, which is very nice. Let's go ahead and enter battle, and let's see what happens. And I really want to showcase this team because, like I said, ANAAK is a universal support tank unit. So she pretty much works in every single team comp because her job is to simply buff the unit with the highest attack and also increase the team's magic and physical resistance. So she pretty much works everywhere. Let's see what she can do in this fight. We have Ghost Karaka. You pretty much have purple team comp. And as you guys can see, she is buffing Punisherin. And then we're dealing with endorsing the back right here. Lero is dead, which is totally fine. As long as Punisherin is still alive and ANAAK is alive, that's all that matters. And look how many times Punisherin is activating his ultimate. This is insane. He is just spamming his ultimate. And you have the attack speed increase. And if you guys think about it, Punisherin has the eel set. So you add the eel set attack speed, plus you add the ANAAK attack speed as well, and a 100% attack increase. Bro, this unit is just busted. She is busted. This makes no sense. Let's go ahead and check out the stats. 35, I think that's 35 billion damage. It's hard for me to read. It's like blurry right here. But 35 billion damage coming from Punisherin. This is insane. This is so insane. So that's green team right here. Now let's go ahead and try another team. So this time we're going to try something else different. So let's go ahead and come over here to purple team comp. Purple team comp. So what we're gonna do here is I'm going to pretty much replace Kaseya, and I'm going to put in ANAAK. Now I'm pretty sure Joaquin. Let me check his attack. He has 91 million, and Vivi. Okay, so she is definitely going to target Vivi instead, which is very nice because Vivi deals insane damage. So she's going to give Vivi attack speed increase and 100% attack. Plus, she's going to increase her energy. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. This is going to be insane, man. This unit, she exceeded my expectations. I did not know that this unit was going to be this busted, but she is completely broken. Like, she is just absolutely busted. So let's see what happens here. And by the way, I like this map. This map is really cool. So you guys can see that she's buffing Vivi. Vivi already has her ultimate, and as soon as as soon as you enter 3 seconds into the match, ANAAK is pretty much just dealing insane damage. Now ANAAK died here, so we're gonna go ahead and restart that because we do have to deal with gusting. Gusting is really annoying at this deficit, but let's switch. Let's switch their formation. Let's put Joaquin up front while you're in the back, and this should be a lot better. So let's see what happens, because we can definitely beat this. It's just that gusting and his bots, they're just really annoying to deal with. But let's see if we can actually beat this with purple team, because if we can beat this with purple team, that just pretty much proves that ANAAK, she can work in any team. We can put her with any DPS unit. She is just perfect. So she is receiving a lot of damage. She is receiving a lot of damage right there. Okay. So far, everybody is still alive. We have the physical and magic resistance increase, which is very good. Vargarv is dead. It's the bots. It's the gusting bots that we have to deal with. So honestly, she still works. She still works. It's just that gusting is just being a complete jerk right now, but she still works. So we're gonna go ahead and try another team. We're gonna put in this team instead. Now this team does include Garam, but the whole point of this team is for ANAAK to pretty much increase Kaiser's damage. So let's enter battle. And Kaiser, since she is like a machine gun, increasing her attack speed by 40 is just insane. And the amount of times that she's going to use her ultimate because of ANAAK's energy restoration is just completely mind-blowing. So hopefully Kaiser's able to get rid of those gusting bots. So let's see what happens here. And if this doesn't work, we're just going to switch to red element team, and Jin Sung might just one-shot everybody here. But so far, Kaiser is still alive, which is really, really good. And ANAAK is taking pretty good damage. We got the pathway. There it is. And as soon as she activates that pathway, Kaiser is just going to simply spam her special move. Look at this. Look at that energy. 200 energy per second. And all that's left is gusting right here. Dead. Simple as that. So, man, this unit is... she's broken. She is broken. We'll have to say she is, in my opinion, the most valuable tank unit as of to right now. She is so good. Like, the things that she can do for your team is just so beneficial. And the fact that she works with every single DPS unit, like, look how much damage Kaiser is able to take. Like, this is really good because Kaiser, her survivability is really squishy, but she can deal insane damage. The only issue with Kaiser is just her survivability. But the fact that ANAAK is able to pretty much, you know, revive Kaiser, because I'm pretty sure for one of her skills right here, if we look at one of her active, she creates a barrier for herself, and somewhere it says if the family member takes fatal damage. I think it's part of her passive right here. It says when the family member's HP is 40% or lower, they become invincible for 3 seconds. So if Kaiser's HP is below 40%, she's pretty much invincible for 3 seconds, which is very, very good. It pretty much increases her overall survivability. Plus, you have the physical and magic resistance increase from her ultimate. So overall, man, this unit is cracked. She is cracked. I have no words. I have no words. She is completely broken. There is literally no problem with this character. Like, I can't find a single flaw in ANAAK's kit. Like, if she was restricted to just one element, then okay, I can be like, all right, she's a unit where she only works in a specific team. But in this case, nah, she literally works in every single team comp because her kit, it doesn't restrict her into just one element. Because some units, their passive restricts them in one element, but for ANAAK, she's not restricted to any element. She works pretty much in every single team. So ANAAK broken, absolutely busted unit. And should you guys summon for her? Yes, you should 100% summon for this unit. She is definitely worth it. Skipping this unit would be a major mistake because she can literally do so many things that some other units can't. And the fact that she's a tank unit on top of that is just insane to me. She's literally like the most valuable tank unit in the game due to the fact that she's able to provide so many buffs to your team. Is just so good. So ANAAK is literally like a must-have unit because she can pretty much increase the potential of DPS characters. Like, she is definitely the blueprint to every single DPS unit in the game because of the buff she's able to provide for everybody, which is really, really good. So ANAAK, definitely worth it. How many copies do you guys need on her in order for her to work? I would say you want to aim for 3 red stars because you want to maximize her kit. So aim for 3 red stars, and you should definitely try to get max copies on her. Like, she's just completely busted. So get as much copies on her as much as possible. Minimum is 3 red stars because you want to maximize her kit. You want to maximize her buff effects because she is very, very powerful. So that's pretty much all I have for you guys in today's guide video for ANAAK. She is 100% worth it. 10 out of 10 unit, completely broken. And I'm satisfied, very satisfied. The fact that she's able to, you know, make Jin Sung a lot more powerful, because I will say for Jin Sung, you did need, you know, at least a couple copies on him. But ANAAK, the fact that she's able to, you know, increase energy, physical magic resistance, attack speed, attack, your Jin Sung, if you're at 2 green stars or 3 green stars, putting him with ANAAK, he's going to deal a ton of damage. So she is just wonderful. By far one of the best enabling units in the game. And yeah, man, she's broken. She is broken. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't. I really appreciate it. And I'll be catching you guys on the next one. Peace.